Hey guys, welcome back to Talaria Boys. Today we have a couple projects going on. We've got Reed's bike in his new blue wrap. He is about to install a new rear tire. His current tire is pretty worn out. I've got my bike here and we're gonna do an oil change. This will be my third oil change. My odometer is just over 1,500 miles, I believe. Let's check that out. We're at 1,480 miles. Okay, not too shabby. I did my first one about 200 miles, second one at about 800, and now we are up to 1,480. So we're gonna do a little quick how-to video on oil change since we've done a bunch of them already, and then we're gonna move over and check out Reed installing his tire. Okay guys, we're gonna do an oil change today. I already have my skid plate taken off. That would be your first step. I took it off already because I totally cracked it and broke it when we were in Moab, so I have another one on order. That'll be here on Tuesday. Basically, it goes like this. You've got, or opposite way, it goes like this. You've got 2 Allen bolts up here, 1 Allen bolt here, and same on the other side. Pretty easy to take off. That will just drop out of the way. And your next step is going to take this cover off. You have a formula Allen here and here. Okay, there's our first bolt. Second one is hidden up in here, and that comes right off. Easy peasy. Set that out of the way, and there we are left with our gearbox. So this is the gearbox. This is gonna be our drain plug. You can see we got this 17 mil socket right on there. This just kind of bends out of the way just a little bit, and this bolt usually is really tight. Okay, let's get this baby off. You got it? Nice. Okay, got that broken off because it is stuck. From the factory, they put Loctite on these bolts, so it's a bit of a pain to get off. But.
Put it after. And I'm not gonna need more help. Think you can twist it now?
No. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty dirty.
Yep, drain that
That's
out.
good. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty dirty oil. This stuff goes in pretty clear white. It's gearbox oil. All right, we've got our oil drained out. It's just a couple of drips every once in a while, but that's good enough. Just gonna pop this guy back on. Get that drain plug back in. Reed's fighting that tire over there. We're gonna put this guy on snug, but not as tight as it was before. Always love that. Dropping your socket in the oil. Okay, we've got our oil drained out. I have our opening plug taken off, and we're just gonna get some oil back in there. I've got it measured on the line here. I can see it's right at about 900 milliliters, so we're gonna take this bottle down to just below 800, and we should be pretty close to what we're supposed to put in. In our experience, you have to go pretty slow. Putting this in, it has to seep down pretty far, and you kind of have to put some in, let it soak in, and then put some more in slowly. Okay guys, we got the oil back in there. Just put it right through here. Let's see how much I ended up. I ended up putting in probably 80 to 90 milliliters. I don't know how much we took out. There's so many different opinions on how you're supposed to change this gearbox oil on these bikes. So everybody seems to have their own opinion. If you're in all the forums, everybody's got a different amount of oil that they're saying that is supposed to get put back in. Some people say to raise the front tire like 2 feet. Some people say to raise it 6 inches. I've tried several different ways. I've never had any issues. This is my third oil change, like I've said, and I had a bike previous to this too that I did 2 oil changes on. So I put about 90 back in. You can honestly just keep adding oil slowly, just drip by drip, and it will keep going in. I've never ran to the point where it wouldn't take any more oil. So do what you want. I'm not gonna tell you exactly how much to put in, but I haven't had any issues, and I've tried it about every single way that anybody's ever directed. So do what you like. I think it's probably gonna work fine. Okay, we're just going to now install this plate back on. We'll have to put in this bolt again to get this bracket on, put the plate, and then I will not be reinstalling my skid plate yet. I'll wait till Tuesday when my new one comes and I'll put that on. I bashed it so hard that these whole brackets bent too. Both of these bent on both sides. This cracked. I got some pretty big dings. We may do a video on reinforcing this with some aluminum welding. I've got a buddy that welds, so may put some plates on here to just stiffen that up. We'll see. All right, we got our bracket back on. Like I said, I'm not gonna put my skid plate back on. I don't plan on doing any riding before my new one comes. I definitely would not ride this bike without a skid plate. You're risking some big things with the motor and all the motor wires and your controller right there. Be bashing pretty bad, but it's snowing right now, raining, so very wet outside, so we're not gonna do any riding in the next few days. Sadly, it's becoming winter. But that's just a brief tutorial on how to change a gearbox oil. Do it how you like, go for it. Hey, Dory Pup. Okay, Reed's getting his new Kenda Millville tire installed on here. This is just an OEM wheel. And this is a 70 by 100 by 19 tire, I believe they call it. So this is an old tire. This thing is heavy. We don't really recommend this Shinko. Which one is this? 524. Shinko 524 is not a very efficient tire, super heavy, and didn't seem to last that long.
No, I didn't love it. It wasn't super grippy on trails either.
Yeah, it's more of a, probably like a motocross tire where you're riding deep, loamy motocross trails or motocross tracks. This tire I'm running on my bike right here, again, mine is totally worn out, totally flat, so we have a second one that we're gonna throw on my bike as well, right here. So you guys can see the difference if I put those side by side. Huge difference in how much wear is left. This tire has about 1,000 miles on it. So it's gonna be a good option. The front tire, we've both got Dunlop MX3 tires on the stock 19-inch wheel, and they're holding up good. This one has 1,000 miles on it as well. I installed it at the same time as the rear tire, and it's still holding up great. I think I'm gonna get 2 rear tires for 1 front tire while riding this setup. So pretty happy with that tire too. They're both light and haven't really messed with our battery life or our range. All right, we got our fresh rubber installed on Reed's bike here in the blue and my bike there in the orange. Look at that, looking so
Nice.
good. Kenda Millville.
Now I can grip the trails actually.
Yeah, we really didn't like that Shinko 524 that Reed had on the back. He actually had one on the front too. He had a
way heavy.
double combo.
Doesn't even grip either.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I got a fresh one on here. Looking way, way better than my old one. Look at that. Pretty bad. We got my oil changed. We installed Alex's tire. He's got a half worn out tire that he was just switching from a different bike. These guys are making sure Reed's chain is all tight.
Yeah, it's probably good.
Okay, that's gonna wrap up our kind of working in the shop miscellaneous project video. We got my oil changed and we got new rear tires installed on my bike and Reed's bike. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next video.
See ya.